Hello, this is Anime Vision, and welcome to What If. Well, welcome to MHA Apocalypse, Part 5. Now, last where we left off, Deku had recovered from getting shot and everything, and he's also discovered where the rest of his people, well, all the people that were in it, Class 1A and a few other people, where they ended up going from finding a map. But instead of trying to reunite with them, Deku kind of thought he had to stay away. So he is staying away from them. But he's also trying to gain as many materials as possible to try and help them survive. So that's what he's currently doing. Now, while in the city, he's found Eri and Overhaul. And at first, when seeing Eri, he thought that Eri was like her. No, Eri was like him. But after taking out Overhaul and seeing, I'm kind of talking with Eri for a little bit, it was just because of her quirk. So, Deku has kind of realized he needs to get her out of there. Like, out of the city. Overhaul, whenever he first saw him, had already been bit. And he was kind of about to die anyway. Because once you get bit, you will slowly start losing the ability to use your quirk for a minute. And slowly start getting weaker. Until you die, and then bam. You become one of them. And you'll eventually get the ability to use the quirk again. So, that's kind of how the infection works. So Deku, he's trying to keep Eri away from her, from all the infected. And he's kind of found out, whenever Deku gets hurt, Eri unconsciously activates her quirk. Just because Deku's been kind and, like, she doesn't have any control over her quirk, and when somebody who's kind to her gets hurt, she activates her quirk. Oh, she would activate her quirk. So, Deku he's kind of found out what her quirk is, which is rewind. So, he's kind of thinking, there could be a way to undo the entire infection if Eri gets control of her quirk. So Deku's thinking she cannot get bit. If she does, Last Hope ends. But Deku, he still has some kind of conflicted feelings on this. Because he doesn't want her to be experimented on. She's told Deku everything that's happened. Like, they've been living together for like 2 days. They're pretty far into the city. And it's gonna take them a while to find a safe place. And there's not many good places for him to keep Eri, so they have to continuously walk. Every time he gets hurt and she has to use her quirk, she has a fever, and Deku has to find her someplace really safe to carry her off to. Lock her up in that area so that way no infected can get in and give her some medical treatment. So this has kind of slowed him down a lot. Eri has not seen Deku go into the zombie mode or anything. She just sees that they have, like, white hair. Well, they both have white hair. I think Eri has red eyes too. It's been a while since I've seen Eri. Wasn't it? I don't remember. Blue or red eyes? Shoot, okay, but anyway. No, continuing. So she's also had. She's never seen Deku activate One for All either. So she's just seen his basic physical strength. And every single time Deku has to kill, he makes Eri close her eyes. Because he wants her to keep any of the innocence that she can. So, pretty much, so the entire area around them has already been looted and everything, and they're kind of in a bad territory. So Deku, he's still in the same bloodied clothes he was, and so was Eri. She's still in her glow in the clothes that she was found in with Overhaul. Now, Deku, okay, I'm gonna say this. So, Deku takes Eri. He found a clothes shop, and he's taking Eri there. And she just lets her pick out any outfits that she wants, or anything really. And Deku and Eri have started to become like a brother-sister relationship. So, while they're just kind of hanging out, like in the clothes shop, just trying to enjoy, like, some cold air, since I'm gonna say the clothes shop has a generator. So they're just enjoying the cold air that there in Deku. He's charging up his phone, because the satellites haven't gotten down yet. Everyone's still kind of doing stuff. So, he's kind of trying to see how trying to look up any areas to find food. He's been running very low. Now, Deku, he doesn't have to eat as much as the average person. But whenever he gets hungry, he may not have to eat. But if he gets hungry, then he'll start become more zombified. He'll start wanting to eat people. So this is when he's been having to give all his food to Eri. See, they're running very, very low. The amount of food he's eaten in 3 days, just a granola bar. But Deku, he keeps on running. Even though he's tried finding any extra food, he just can't find any. He did find this huge thing of food at one point, and he did take a small chunk for himself. So before he met Eri, and he gave the rest to the other people, Class 1A and everyone else. And Deku's kind of regretting his decision. This is when Deku kind of realizes a good place for Eri would be that farm. That everyone else is in. So he decides to pick up Eri, and he just completely just activates One for All to, I'm gonna say 10%, just the equivalent to 20%, because the infection made it twice as powerful. So he just begins running incredibly fast as he possibly can. He's trying to get Eri to that, to the farm. Eri's never seen him really run this fast before. So she is kind of questioning what's it. Also the black and red energy coming off of them. Also kind of weird. Never saw that before. Deku, he's... Okay. So, Deku, he can actually start feeling himself start succumbing to the noticing hunger. He may not need to eat every, single day, or, for a week, or even drink anything that week. But he will get hungry. Still. He'll still feel that huge amount of hunger. And he's barely eaten anything in 4 days. The moment he felt the hunger set in, that's when he knew he had to get Eri to the farm quick. Now, Eri just sees him start running faster. You'll even faster. There's some infected starting to chase them. And Deku, he keeps on running even faster. Eri is just asking him what's going on. She just suddenly got picked up and started going. Deku, he has not said a word during this. And, one of his eyes are like how it is in the photo. And in just kind of like a, kind of like a very, rough voice. Like a rougher voice than what he usually has. And it kind of sounds like he's having, no, kind of sounds like he's having, okay, hold on. Okay, sorry, my little sister needed help. But anyway, so, one of his eyes is how it looks in the picture. And he's kind of talking like it's getting harder for him to talk. Just by sheer willpower alone. And the smell of blood is not helping at all, because there's blood and death all around him as he's running. This is kind of an intense moment. Eri still hasn't recovered for, it's only been a week. Since, a week and a half since having Eri. Some of her injuries have not healed from what Overhaul did last moment. And he didn't even heal her. She hasn't even been able to heal herself. And the sudden jerk around kind of made it open up some wounds. She's in a little bit of pain, and Deku can kind of smell the blood. And the blood is starting to go all over him. He starts drooling a little bit. And he starts to put up his mask. A little mask that he has by his face. No, I'm good. You can play on it as much as you want. Now, okay, so he's starting to drool a little bit. He pulls up his mask. And he kind of puts on this hat he has. It's just like a face mask, like how Kakashi has. That's what I was talking about a second ago. Hold on. Okay, my little sister needed something one more time. Sorry about the interruptions, but okay. Deku. He is going to like put on this baseball cap, something, just like a red cap that he has, and he puts it on his head. He's starting to be covered more and more blood of Aries and the blood of an infected. Aries is closing her eyes because Deku is just wiping through them all. Now, eventually, like an hour after an hour of this, they get to the farm area, and Deku knows he's going to have to talk to them for a minute, because he sees that Cementos has built up a giant gate, and there's only one entrance to the gate, and it looks like Bakugo and Kirishima have snipers trained on him. So he just quickly puts in some contacts and to make his eyes look blue. He doesn't need to disguise his voice because his voice is already really rough. Now, without the contacts right now, his right eye looks how the eyes look in the picture, and his left eye is just kind of, it has the red glowing color, and his eyes are starting to turn black. But with the contacts in, his eyes look normal, but with also a blue color. Now he just puts all of his concentration on talking, so he can kind of sound normal. He tells them that he got bit, and he heard that there was someone over here that would take in. He tells them about Eri and everything, and he says he wants to take care of her. Okay. Now, this is when Nezu walks over and kind of seeing the situation, how Deku's slowly starting to be succumbing to not being able to talk. Like he's starting to have a harder and harder time. He's very hungry. Now, they agree to take Eri, but whenever they see the white hair and everything, they're kind of hesitant. Like I said, it's just her quirk. Her quirk is called Rear. Oh, he kind of stumbles on his words a second. And then he just kind of says, the quirk is a mutation quirk, and it makes her hair white, her eyes have a... Well, I think she had black eyes. I can't remember. Dang it. It's been a while. Okay. Oh. But, it also gives her a horn. And they agree to take her. And Deku hands over as much clothes as he can. And then this is when he tells them that he's going to go now. And they say, Bakugo offers to put him out of his misery, since they know, because he thinks he's going to turn into infected. Deku said, no, he says he wants to fight till the very end. So he just kind of starts walking away. Right before giving Eri a hug. And tells them to take care of her injuries. He kind of leans into Eri's ear and told them, do not tell them about her quirk. If possible, try not to use it. Deku says he knows she doesn't know how to use her quirk, but still, if you ever get the feeling that your quirk's about to activate, do not use it in front of anyone ever. And Eri just nods her head, and she kind of says, well, I've known you for a little while, but I've never heard your name. At least tell me your name. I've just been calling you Big Bro the entire time. Deku just leans down, gives her a hug, and says, well, you can just keep on calling me that. He just says, you don't want to, I don't want them to know my name either. So, Deku, he just starts walking away. And this is when his eyes start bleeding. He can feel like the hunger is fully setting in now. He then takes any amount of rations that he has left. He has one granola bar. He immediately tries eating it, but it's just not enough. His hunger is setting in too quickly. So he just begins sprinting off. He takes out the contacts. His eyes are just drenched in blood. He's still drenched in Aries in all the infected blood. He then goes into the city. He then goes to the closest area he can that would have the infected. He then begins to slaughter them all, and then begin feasting. Now, after 3 days of being in a savage state, he finally kinda comes back, remembering kinda what happened. He did not sustain any major injuries during this to knock him out of it, and he hasn't eaten in a long while. So he's kinda out of it. And during those 3 days, we're gonna cut to Eri. Now, the Wild Wild Pussycats and Koda are with them. Nezu is talking with Eri, and everyone's trying to welcome her with open arms. And they'll just see Eri crying. They ask if they knew who that one guy was, and how long did they know each other, like, what happened. And just basically trying to ask her what her story is. She explains all of the overhaul situation, like, kind of crying a little bit during that part. Then she says how he was the first person to ever be nice to her. She had, whenever he had to kill the infected, he would make her close her eyes or close her eyes for him. He would never, he basically just said that he would never, oh, you putting the blood inside? Okay. Well, okay, so she says that he would make sure that she had enough to eat before he would eat. After like 2 days, he found that he didn't have enough food for both of them to keep on eating. So he kept one granola bar for himself, and then kept on feeding me. Then she said that, okay, there's no clouds in the sky, but okay. Okay, but she said that because of his quirk, it was called endurance, he didn't have to eat as much. Like, that's what he told Eri. And she keeps on crying, saying that she never even knew his actual name. She was just called Big Bro. She said before he even came here, he just... Now, she says that we found a clothes shop that wasn't all looted already. And we finally got to change out of our old bloody clothes. And we even took a few sets of new ones. He went to a back room for a few seconds, just came running out as fast as he possibly could. He carried me and just ran, going through hordes of infected. He didn't even say to cover my eyes this time. He was just too preoccupied having to kill infected while running. And she just keeps on crying more. She said that she closed her eyes, but she kept on feeling all the blood splatter on her and him. He even, well, the last thing she saw was his eyes start getting a blackish and reddish color. He put contacts in, and then gave me to you all. And she kind of explains her story. Everyone else is kind of explaining their stories and everything, too. And, like, they're all having a talk. Everyone's kind of down. But Kaminari, like, being the one, now that Mina's gone, be the one that kind of tries to pep everyone up. So, because he's, like, the most social. Well, like, Mina and him were, like, the most social. The ones that got things started. But, now that role falls to only him. So he's just kind of talking to everyone, and, like, saying, oh, well, why don't we crack into those marshmallows and Hershey chocolate and make some s'mores tonight. I think Eri deserves a small break. Everyone agreed, and they just got up the s'mores and started trying to joke around and laugh for a while. Eri was very upset, but tried to have a fun time. Everyone was trying to cheer up, and they were being very kind to her. She even made a new friend, Coda. So, now we're cutting back to Deku. He wakes up, his clothes completely just tattered. He didn't even have any of his stuff anymore. And he just sees dead bodies all around him. And he's kind of just looking at... No, not yet. Oh, okay, I'll tell you when we're going to go inside. It's going to be soon. Siblings. Okay. Now, Deku. Here, what if I push you? Okay. Gotta be quiet, though. So.
No! You're not supposed to do that! Yeah!
Okay, so Deku. You gotta be quiet, okay. So Deku, he is, like, he just wakes up with his clothes all tattered. Blood is all around him, and dead people are all everywhere. He sees that he's in a warehouse, and the people that he were killed were definitely not infected. They had guns, they were using them. They were all, like, it looks like there was a huge base. And Deku, he just completely raided it. So, He's never. Well, he's feeling very, very sick. Especially after feeling like the hunger is no longer there. He feels sick to his stomach. Kind of like how Kaneki did after he ate human for the first time. So, this is where I'm gonna leave this video off for now.
Do it all day.
Okay. Also, for the person that keeps on suggesting the Deku X, the Deku X Momo, what? I could work that into the story, but it won't be for like another 2 parts. So, yeah. So the next 2 parts, there will be a Deku X Momo. So, yeah, hopefully you all look forward to that. So, until next time, this has been Animavision, and goodbye.